Today, I am trying something new. Well, not exactly today. I already tried it about 2 weeks ago, but I'm finally getting around to recording about it now. So let's roll the intro and we'll get right into it. All right, so like I said, I'm trying something new. I've seen and heard about heritage auctions a lot, mostly with who's been doing it. I know Ryan with Automatic Comics and Swaggle they do, I know they talk about it, and they also do the live auction tracking and all that stuff, where they do like a screencast and they'll watch as the auctions are going on. Also, I've always heard that they've always been just a high-end marketplace. But when I was watching Johnny's comic stuff, he gets a lot. I mean, granted, he says that he loses a lot more than he wins, but he gets a lot of boxes from them. So he must really try a lot. So I said, you know what? Maybe it's not all just ginormous grails and 6-figure, 5-figure books or whatever. I tried it. So this is basically going to be like a comic shop review / unboxing, because I did win something. So I do have that here. You can see this has the filament tape, which I do like, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But for right now, I want to just go over the website and show you how these things work and give you my opinion on all this stuff. So we're going to switch over to the screen. And so first we're going to look at, well, this is my YouTube page, not my page, but YouTube. So here is the front page for Heritage. And we'll zoom in a little bit, make it a little bit bigger so that you can see it. So as you can see, they give you a lot of information right up front. You're selling, and then all this stuff. The bid and buy section, all the categories, the services they offer, the resources, everything like that. So this was the first thing. It's so much stuff on here. There's so much to deal with. I just scrolling through it. So I didn't even bother, because I don't give a crap about any of this other stuff. I always only looking for comic books. So the first thing that I did was, all right, and this is annoying to me, because I told them to turn off email announcements for a year. So instead of giving me email announcements, they're just putting this on the freaking front page every time. So, stay the hell away. I don't want any of that stuff. I know I turned off the announcements. You can either search by keyword or lot, which to me was way, way, way too overwhelming. So what I did was I just went by the category page. Like I said, it's kind of like a Walmart for collectibles. So I really didn't bother getting too involved with everything. I knew what I wanted to look for, and I just went right at it. So I went straight here, and I went to comics and comic art. So that takes us to the main page of the comic book section. And we could bring this a little bit bigger, because it's a little bit less complicated than the rest. So on here, we've got all their listings. I don't even know what these are. I guess these are like the bigger listings that they're looking at, or I'm not even, again, I don't know. There's just so much stuff. I mean, you look over here on the navigation side, it's like, oh my God, all these categories, all these auctions, highlights, new inventory, you can select by grades. So like I said, I was convinced to try it by Johnny's comic stuff. And he normally, what interests me the most is trying to get more for your money. Not buying a single book, but buying bundles. So what I did was, the first thing I would do is I would come to here, onto the left navigation section after I went to the comics. And we start at the top. And so we have comics. I would go to comics. That way we get rid of video games, trading cards, art, all that stuff. We're just starting out with comics. Then from there, I would narrow it down further. I would scroll down, and I would go to the grading service, I think. Yes. And I would select uncertified, because I don't want graded books. I want boxes of raw books. So that was the second thing I did. Then they still have 1,107 available items. So I go one step further and I go to the comic category. And here's where my first issue is. If we look, and give me one second. If we look at this breakdown here, and I'll make this really big for you so you can see it clear as day. So they break it down into Platinum Age, Golden, Silver, Bronze, and Modern. To me, now this is off the top of my head, so I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure Bronze goes to 84, 83 or 84, and then Copper goes from 85 to 91 or 90, and then 92 becomes the Modern Age or something like that. But with them, they do everything 80 and further, 80 and newer as Modern Age. The 70s are Bronze, and the mid 50s to the end of the 60s are Silver. So they spread things out like a little bit differently. So that was the first thing that's really a little bit more confusing than other more traditional, sellers. Most everybody else has the same breakdowns for the eras, and they include Copper. This one doesn't. So that's what I do. I would go down and I would break it down I would select that. So usually I would want to do Bronze and, get into the actual later real Bronze Age, like in the early 80s, but we can't do that with this. So you have to go into Modern, and then it's like a whole thing. I don't like that at all. And you can't go in and specify anywhere. I mean, you can see here, category, there's nothing that says custom eras or, date range from publication date. So that kind of makes it a little bit more difficult. So then what I do is I go with Bronze, and that will take us, and then we have here 169 available items. So that narrows it down a lot. We just got rid of almost 85% of the total lots. So that makes it a lot easier to navigate the site and find things out. So you can see here, I guess this is best match. So the other thing that I usually do is I usually go to set the time to earliest, because I don't want to bid on something that's, I don't want to look at stuff that's like 2 weeks down the road or a month down the road, because it's pointless to me. So I always go to earliest so I can see what's ending like today, tomorrow, something like that. And you can see here on their auctions, they have a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday auction. That's a standard. So it basically, give me a second, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry about that. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday auction, meaning you could preview, or it opens up on Sunday for bidding, and on Tuesday or Wednesday, I think is when it closes. Like I said, I've tried this a few times. I'm not an expert on this, but you can see it here. We'll just take a look at this one. Today is Monday, right now. Today is Monday, the 21st of July. So this is one that's currently open now. And this shows you right here. This is the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for July 28th to the 22nd. And what happens is it's opened for bidding. It's got a $40 current bid. So you can see the lot number. You can see the general description, and it's a Batman group of 7 from 72 to 80. Conditions are average. This is the average condition for all of the books. So if they take the sum total of everything and they say, overall, the average condition is going to be fine, very fine. And again, it tells you total 7 books, even though it says here, group of 7. So you see here's the current bid. Then it tells you there's no reserve. There's 1 day left. And like I said, today's Monday. So Tuesday is when it ends. We saw that earlier. And then I could put in the next bid up here, which would be automatically the $5 increment. Or I could put in my maximum bid, which means that they will keep, going over and over and over and over and over until my bid is reached. So it's like anything. It's like eBay or any other thing, where if the bid now is 40, I want to bid 45. If somebody has their secret maximum bid to 100, it's going to go from my 45. It'll say, oh, you've already been overbid, and you're going to be, the next bid is 105 because their bid was 100. You now have to bid the next, $5 increment. I'm not going to do that because I don't want this lot. So I don't want to, get locked in for anything. But that's how that goes. Then you would say, place the bid. It would come up and it would ask you, are you sure? Blah, blah, blah. Do you want to get notified if you're outbid? Blah, 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 stuff like that. So you do that. Down here is all the description information. It tells you, so these are the books we're looking at. Book number 243, 258, the first mention of Arkham Asylum, 259, 263, tape residue at the bottom right corner of the front cover. So this is what I do like. They give you very detailed descriptions of these lots. So even though you can't see what you're getting, they do give you pretty decent descriptions if there is something like this. This one will tell you number 296 is a fine, very fine, 305 and 321, but they don't tell you the conditions of that. And they tell you Overstreet value for the group is 200. I don't know. But then you can look up the books in their price guide. So if we click on that, it'll take you to, again, this is something that I don't like. It takes you to their price guide, which is a generic listing. It doesn't take you to those, it doesn't give like a page of just those books. So you have to do the searching yourself. And then it gives you more books, like more similar auctions that are ongoing or going to be going. So there's that. Then you have a tab for auction info. It tells you all the pertinent information. It ends on July 22nd at 5:50. These are the dates, the 28th to the 22nd, Sunday through Tuesday, which we know because it says on here, this is a Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday auction. It tells you how much time is left, how many bids are there. It's very detailed. Here's the other thing that I don't like. $20 successful bid, 20% buyer's premium for a successful bid, minimum $29. So if you bid on something that's only $20, you're paying $29 extra just for a buyer premium. And they do a seller premium. So this is one of those things that I can't stand when people do it. They make money on the front end. They make money on the back end. They're making it against both people. And it's like, well, this is an auction site. The seller should be paying your fees, not the buyer. So that's one of the reasons why I always did stay away, because I don't like this shit. To me, this is shady when you take money from both sides to enrich yourself. And especially when it's 20% with a minimum $29. So if you multiply $29 times 5, because that's the inverse of 20%, you have to spend at least $145 to not get robbed on the $29 fee. Anything less than $145, your buyer's premium is going to be higher than 20%. So if you're going to use this site, you need to make sure that you're spending more than $145. Otherwise, that buyer's premium could be like 40, 50%, which is absolutely ridiculous. Then it tells you the details, more little details of it. Then you do have a section for shipping information. So if you click on that, you put in the item valuation. They do the shipping based on value. You notice that they don't even ask you where you're from. So if we say $150, we calculate shipping, they'll tell you it's $15.60. If it's $70, it's still $15.16. So they're I don't understand how they do this, because they're basing their shipping on dollar amounts, not on weight. So if I bought one book at $70, they're charging me $15. If I bought 100 books for $150, they're charging me the same $15. So it's a little bit weird. Again, it's one of those things where I don't agree with how things are done. And then you have sales tax information, which they do charge sales tax, unless you're an actual business and you have a retail sales a sales tax reseller certificate, where that will eliminate your need to pay sales taxes. So basically what we're talking about is we have the price of the auction, the 20% minimum $29 buyer premium, shipping, and sales tax. That's everything that goes into this stuff. So what I did was I bought, can we see it on here? Let's see, my orders. So I bought a lot on June 22nd. And that was lot number 122525-1828. I paid a total of $189.36. This was the Forever People, numbers 2 through 11, series 1, the original series. Numbers 2 through 11, total of 10 books. Number 1 was not in this lot, unfortunately. As you can see, I paid $159. So I did get my money's worth in terms of the thing, because $159 times 0.20 is $31. So I paid $31.80 in the buyer's premium. So meaning I did not have to, pay a higher percentage for the buyer's premium. But now this is where we get a little bit iffy. So we can see here that I paid $189 and change, and we can see the books from here. You can't really tell. They look like they should be in pretty good condition. And we look at the description. It says number 2 is fine. Number 3, fine, very fine. 4, fine. 5, fine, very fine. 6, very fine. 7, near mint minus. 8, near mint minus. 9, fine, very fine. 10, fine, very fine. 11, very good, fine. Okay. Here's the thing that I took the risk on. Light stacking bends keep this group from averaging very fine near mint. So to me, that sounds like it should be a pressable defect. Also, the bigger issue, no color breaks. So that to me means everything that we're gonna see in this box should have no color breaking spine ticks, no color breaking creases. Everything should be pressable, unless there's tearing in there, but this does not mention anything about tearing. So I took a chance. Actually, I wasn't really even thinking. I've bid, I wonder if we could even go back and look. I think I deleted them all. But, all right, that's on that. My bids, show all. Yeah, no, I think I deleted them. My tracked lots, no. Okay, here's one that I was also looking at. Bronze Age Superhero Defenders, group of 36. This one I probably would have been better off winning, looking at this one. But again, we've got issues 11 to 42, 55, 56, and 58. But they don't tell you anything about the grades or anything like that. So that's why I stopped bidding, because I wasn't sure. But it could have been a good book. Now, 84 is not in here. I think 12, this is a big key, I believe. I'm not exactly sure. There are a few decent sized books. Obviously, we have like 1 and 4, I think, are big books. But for the most part, this is all going to be like mid-size dollar values. But again, for $150 for 36 books, I might have been better off than the $145 for the 10 books. But I don't know. I was just trying to figure out if I could see what other, so I could show you how many I've bid on in the past, because there's been a lot. But again, I'm not exactly sure of how. Yeah, I'm just not going to be able to do it because I just don't know how to use this site. Yeah, I think I bid on this one as well. This modern age, 80 to present detective. My bid was 125. It went for 260. I don't know, but so the site itself, it's easy enough to navigate. They don't really give you a lot of information on everything, so it is kind of a crapshoot. I know Johnny says make sure you read the descriptions. Read the descriptions. Like we saw, there's not everything has a big description. They're not very detailed, some of them, so we don't know. But now we're going to do the second part of the review, and we're going to go and review the shipping. Actually, we can take a look real quick, I think. Let me see. I'm going slowly because I don't want to show any information on there. All right. Yeah. I'm trying to think of when the order, like the order information. All right. Let's go here for a second. So I don't dox myself or anything like that. I just want to open up the invoice or the tracking stuff so we could see how long it took, like what the process was, because I wasn't very fond of that very much. Okay, so complete tracking details. Okay, all right, so we could go over and look. There's no information on there. Okay, so I purchased it. The invoice was June 22nd. I paid June 22nd. They received it on June 25th. So it took them 3 days to process it. Then on June 25th, July 3rd is when they sent the information to FedEx. So June has 30 days. That's 5 days in June, 3 days into July. That's 8 days from the time they processed my payment to the time they shipped it. 8 days is a long time. And they say on there it could take 7 to 14 days. I don't care if they disclose that. To me, again, that's bullshit. It should not take you that long. It should not take you 8 days after you post the payment. Payment date, I paid it on June 22nd. You said the payment date was June 25th. So that means that you processed it and it cleared you on June 25th. So you held my stuff for 8 days before packaging it up and contacting FedEx FedEx to deliver it. So I'm not fond of that. But like I said in the intro or some point earlier, you can see filament tape. I like that. I use that when I ship my own stuff. Whenever I ship stuff, it's so much stronger. Some people call it filament tape. Some people call it strapping tape. It's so much stronger than the thin cellophane tape because you never know if cellophane tape, like something sharp could hit it and could slice it and open up the box and then you're screwed. So we're gonna open the box and we're gonna take a look at how good it is. I wonder, the overhead cam's not gonna pick that up very well. So I'm just gonna, it's gonna be so hard for me to show you me opening it. Also, it's a lot stronger, the tape, when you are cutting it as well across. So, all right, that should be everything. So now we open it and we see right off the bat that the bubble wrap doesn't exactly go all the way to the top of the box. So I don't like that. To me, it's always better if you have to push down a little bit on the box and hold it to close it, because that means that there's more pad, there's more security. But you can see that the padding goes from edge to edge. So that is good. I like that. Then you have the collector's handbook, which I think they sell for like $50 or something, or maybe, I don't know. There's some kind of a thing that you can buy from them. And then there's the receipt. And boy, that is, right, that can hurt your eyes. So then we take this out. And we see that it is, you can see that there's a lot of bubble wrap. So it is very securely taped up. So I can say that. That is definitely a positive, that these books are very secure and very, very protected. Because there are some people, I'm sure you've seen all my videos from Nucadia, they don't use once in every 50, depending on how many books you're buying, they will use a thin layer of the small bubble wrap to throw on top of the box that really doesn't do anything to pad anything. So it's really nice to see companies do that. And if you see my Midtown comic, you've seen that they use a lot of the big bubble wrap in their packaging. So I do like secure packaging like that. Now, the problem is they're using this really, really thin brown tape, and it takes a little bit of work because you can see it like tears all over the place. It doesn't come off all in one shot. So we'll put this to the side because, like everybody else says, keeps me from having to buy bubble wrap ever. Okay, moment of truth. Well, let's take the keyboard out of the way so I can put this in front of me. Oh, wow. Okay, so we'll take, all right, this, we'll get rid of this because I'm gonna throw that stuff out. We will turn on the overhead camera. Actually, I could have done that before. We're gonna turn on the overhead camera, so I'm gonna put the books here once I get them done. So this is the packaging. Yeah, this is the packaging. You can see they have their little label or whatever. This is in a bag. And once we open this bag, and again, I like when they put them in bags because it holds everything together and it gives the books less room individually to move around. So again, more security. We take this and yeah, because I don't even know what on earth these are packed in, to be honest. It looks like some kind of sturdy boards, clear boards, no, I don't know. Like I said, this is my first time with this, so I have no idea. And I know watching Johnny's stuff, his stuff usually just come in like regular bags and boards. So whatever the hell this is, I'm at a loss. And if you've seen these kinds of things before, tell me, because it might be something that other people are interested in too. So yeah, this is like so it's got, they're not actual bags. These are like two flaps that come up like this, and it opens up and you slide the board and the comic inside of it. It's sturdier. Like you could see, I don't know if you can see how thick it is. It'd be kind of hard to determine that. But I'm going to be honest. I don't know what the hell these people are talking about. All right, so this one is, all right, yeah, it's got a glare on this, so I'm going to take this out. This one is number 2. All right, so it looks like they're in order, 2, 3, and everything. Okay, so this is number 2. You can see here. Let's see. I did forget to do something. Give me 1 second. It's been a while since I did a video here. I wanted to... Okay. All right. Yes. No. Crap. I totally forgot how I get my duplicate on here. That's funny. It's been like 4 months, 3 months since I did a video. Okay. Well, good. We're gonna go here. So when I put the books down, you could see them as they're laying there. Like, so you'll be able to see what book we just did. You get to see how nice it is and everything. But I'm looking for... Okay. Maybe OBS changed. Because I can no longer duplicate my screen, so I can see... Okay, well, we'll just do it like this. So here's the book. Here's the back. Looks pretty clean. I mean, you've got a little bit of a dirt, but you can see... I gotta get the light. There's a big crease in here somewhere, like right down the middle. All right, right here. You can see this right here. This crease goes all the way down. So you can see that right where my finger's going. And you can see here the dirt. Yeah, so it is dirty along the sides, but this is my problem. Right here. See this crease? That's color breaking. It literally said in the description, no color breaks. So, and they smell too. But you can see Fake Mark Jewelers. The pages are off-white, so it's nothing special. Now remember, I paid $189 divided by 10. So I paid like $19 a book. Now, I'm going to have to get a lot of value out of these because I don't, if they're all like this, I don't think I'm going to get my money back, to be honest, no matter what I get. But, I mean, you can see the colors. The colors are really nice. But you can see at the top, there's chipping. It's not a smooth cut, so we've got number two. Then we have number 3. This one's a little bit better. There are still creases inside of here. Here's the front. I mean, you can see color breaking creases, and you have color breaks, white down there. So I don't know what they're talking about, no color breaks. And to be honest, they're not even stacking curls. What did they actually call this? Their description was light stacking bends. There's not even stacking bends on here. What I'm seeing is creases, like, coming off the spine and across the book, like in this one. Can you see? Yeah, it's hard to see, but you have, like, it's creasing. That's the problem. I mean, again, you have the interiors are off-white, but to me, yeah, and that's why I bought it, because the description literally said, no color breaks. So I'm like, oh, everything in there, yeah, sure, it could be creased, it could be, you have spine ticks, But if they're not color breaking, I'm good to go. Okay, so here's number 4. And, you know, this one looks a little bit better, but of course we have a white spine. But you can see along the top, it ain't perfect. It looks like there's a little bit of folding and a little bit of tearing and folding at the top. Again, this one might be able to see, oh, I'm covering that up. Let's see if we can get the angle on this, because this also has that crease. Yeah, it's like right here. You can see it right here in the P, in the pilot, like right here going straight down. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to see it because it's white, but there's an angle where it goes all the way straight down, same as the other one. But, you know, at least there's no, and I didn't even count the pages, so I'm not even sure about that yet. I also don't like these very much because it feels like these are crushing, like smushing the books, because they are so firm. But we'll see. So this one's number 5. Yeah, it smells like old book. Yeah, I mean, you can see this. This is a tear. So that's got a tear, and then it's got this big crease, which that looks like a production crease actually, because if you look at Frankenstein's head, it doesn't look like it does any damage. Like it looks like it was printed over the crease, but still there's a tear in there. And then you can see here, there's another crease. So, yeah, all right. And if we look in the book itself, so you can see here's Frankenstein's head. So it's on the open side. So if we look inside, we also have creasing all the way throughout on the open sides. So that is production. Yeah. Then we have 6. So what did they say? 2 was a fine, 3 was a fine, very fine, 4 was a fine, 5 was a fine, very fine. Then 6 is this one. This is a very fine. Yeah, so this is a fine, very fine, number 5, with the tear in it. Go figure. So number 6 is a very fine. And I mean, look here. Look at this. The corners are missing. It's not a fine, very fine. Yeah, no, that's not even a very fine. Now this is a near mint minus number 7. A near mint minus that looks like it's got dust shadow or tanning all around. That's got, I don't know if you can tell, there's creasing. You look at the back, you can see how it's not plumb. It's not, it's a spine roll? No, because you could look at the staples, and the staples are pretty much in the same place. So we've got a staple right here along this black line, and then we've got another staple right here along the black line. So the staples are fine, but yet the book is off. So this is not a near mint minus. It's got creasing in it. So I don't know if you could see in the F for forever people. see if I can move it around to get, plus there's the O is missing some color there, but okay, so that's not a near mint minus. Then we're looking at number 8. Number 8 is a near mint minus. I mean, it looks pretty decent on the camera. On the back, looks okay, but it does look a little bit brown. Yeah, there is dirt. I mean, you could see the dirt all in there, and even down here. And also, look at, I mean, you can see all the dirt up here as well. Yeah, I mean, this is the closest one to a near mint that they call a near mint. Then we've got, this is number 9, and this is supposed to be a fine, very fine. Okay. Black cover, back cover is, this has a fine, very fine. Looks better than the near mint minus. Yeah, it's, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Then we have 10, which is supposed to be a fine. And this has, let's see if I could get you on here. All right, look right down the spine side, right here, right down there. You can see that, all the creasing down. You can see that, top to bottom. You have the same thing on the back. Should be right here, like a subscription crease or something. You can see it right here, like all the way up there. And I can even feel it. So that's okay. At least it has all the corners and everything, and nothing took a bite out of it. And there's no tear in there. And then this is number 11. This is supposed to be 11 is supposed to be a very good fine. Okay. And this I can see why. If I can get all the angles, like right here, you can see that crease. There's a deep crease there. There's creases all along this book. We have a bad corner here with the color breaking crease. Somebody drew on here. Again, we've got the subscription crease right down here. I want to try to get you this top piece right here, like all the creasing in here. It's just all throughout there. So yeah, it's, come on, it's so hard to get at that angle. Okay, right there. You can see, like right there, all that creasing in the upper left-hand side, like all in here. So yeah, you can see all that creasing in there. So for that match is okay. All in all, I am not happy with this order. Like I said, I don't like when you take people on both sides of the spectrum. It's like you take it coming and you take the money going. It's like you give me money, and I'll take money, I'll profit from both sides. The descriptions were terrible. The packaging was great. I don't know. This to me was not a very good first impression, I have to say. Now, again, I literally went through every one of those books. I know when I watched Johnny do his stuff, He sometimes will take them out, but he'll just give them a quick look over and put them off to the side or whatever. Never takes them out because he, like I said, he usually gets like 40, 50 books at a time in these bundles. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I would do it again. It would have to be like if I could get a bundle for like 40, 50 bucks, 40, 50 bucks for like 30 or 40 books, maybe get down to $1 a book each, or maybe $3 a book each for high end, like potential of high end, to make everything worth it. But the wait time between payment and shipping, the quality of the books, yeah, this to me would be, at least 2 thumbs down. And I'm just, maybe this is a one-time thing. I'm going to contact them. I'll let them know what I did. I'll, show them the video or whatever so they can see. I want to know your comments. Have you ever used Heritage? I want to know if you found your experience similar to mine, better than mine, worse than mine. What you think of the website, the overall experience, the quality of the product that you get. But I honestly think that I'm going to have a hard time recouping $189. But hopefully this big box from Midtown, which we're going to do in the next video, will raise my spirits a little bit. So look out for that one. Like I said, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you on the next video.